Welcome to Foreign Currencies with Scott. I'm your host, Scott. So today we're going to talk about something that's really critical and is going to be critical for our foreign currency trading, and that is the concept of a stop loss. Now, stop loss is much more critical in foreign currency trading than it is in stock trading. And first, we're going to explain why it's more important. So, we're going to go back to my proverbial buying Apple stock. So, if we were to go out today, based on this recording, the time, and purchase a share of Apple stock, it's worth $172. So, we would immediately part with that $172, and it would sit there on the table as our share of Apple stock. Now, tomorrow, let's suppose that some bad news just hits Apple left and right, and the stock price just plummets down and is worth only $79. So we will have lost that over, nearly $100 once we close the position and sell our stock. We'll have lost $100. Now, the thing to note from this is that the absolute most that you can lose when you buy a stock is the amount that you put in. So you can only lose at most your entire investment. Now, I know that sounds terrible. We get an investment, we want it to go up. We don't want to think about it going down, and we certainly don't want to think about it disappearing altogether and going to zero. But when you buy a stock, that is the most you can lose. It's limited to what you've put in. With currencies, this is not the case. If we put in our $62.70 or whatever was set aside for our example trade the other day, our losses are not limited to $62.70. If you remember, we were buying 1% of a common lot, which means that it would have a change in value of 10 cents per pip. So if it moved in our direction, we would make 10 cents in one pip. If it went against us, we would lose 10 cents if it went one pip against us. Now, that means that if it goes 100 pips against us, that's $10. If it goes 10,000 pips against us, that's $1,000. And we would stand to lose all that. There is nothing stopping our loss at $62.70. That is merely the amount that we have had to put forward to get into the transaction. So what we do always is use a stop loss. And typical for the type of trading we're going to be doing, we're going to use a 20 pip stop loss. So we make a supposition about what direction it's going to go, and we pick the opposite direction and put a hard line at 20 pips. So we have what is called a 20 pip stop loss. So this is why the other day I also said that even though the margin that would be put aside in our account would be $62.70, we would never lose that much. If we were wrong, we would lose at most $2. That $2 comes from our 20 pip stop loss. It was 1% of a contract, so that's 10 cents per pip. So 10 cents per pip times 20, which is our stop loss, is $2. So the most we could lose from that trade is $2. But there are a lot of numbers I've just given you, but the takeaway today is we will always, always, always use a stop loss the moment we enter a trade. Okay, so we'll talk more about that in the future. That's just something for you to put in your mind right now and stock it away as very critical information. Always use a stop loss. I'm Scott, and this is Foreign Currencies with Scott.